The courtroom reeked of chill and arrogance. My father's voice cut through the air, sharp and deliberate. This girl only knows how to squander what isn't hers. He never glanced at me. His eyes were locked on the judge, his old golfing partner, his drinking companion, his shield. I saw the silent nod pass between them, a subtle handshake of power masquerading as justice. His lawyer smirked, confident. My father crossed his arms, convinced that my inheritance, the fortune my grandfather left me, would slip neatly back into his hands. I sat still, calm, palms flat on the table. Not a tremor. The stage belonged to him, but the story, my story, was mine to tell. When the judge finally asked if I had anything to say, I leaned in and spoke 2 words. Just 2 words, and the color drained from his face. 6 months ago, I had believed my father was a man of honor. People whispered tales of how he built his empire from nothing. What they never mentioned were the lives crushed beneath it. One of those lives was my mother's. When my grandfather passed, he left everything to me: shares, estates, trusts. My father congratulated me with a smile that was too practiced. "You'll need guidance," he said. "I'll handle the business side." Guidance, as I quickly learned, was code for control. And control in his hands was erasure. The warning signs came subtly. Missing statements. Signatures I hadn't given. By the 3rd month, my trust's assets had quietly been shuffled into shell companies, all routes leading back to him. He thought I wouldn't notice. He forgot who had raised me. Grandfather had taught me to read between the lines, to see the unspoken, to strategize quietly, endlessly. So I stopped confronting him. I smiled at family dinners, nodded at his advice, let him think I was still the naive girl needing protection. Meanwhile, I quietly rebuilt everything he thought he had taken. I hired a forensic accountant, someone who once worked for him. Loyalty, after all, is a currency like any other. Every transaction was traced, every false signature uncovered. I filed a hidden lawsuit. And then I met with my mother's lawyer. There was a clause in her old prenup buried deep. If my father committed financial fraud against a family member, the assets could revert to the beneficiary of my grandfather's estate. That beneficiary was me. Back in court, I watched him preen under the judge's approving gaze, fueled by drinks, favors, and old secrets. "My daughter," he said, "is reckless, incapable of managing what I built. I only seek to preserve the legacy." Legacy, protect, family, words as hollow as his intentions. When my turn came, I rose slowly. My lawyer stayed still. We had rehearsed this moment. "I have something the court should see," I said. The bailiff handed over the file, my evidence. But the true dagger came next, 2 words that froze him in place. Asset transfer. Not just words. The name of the shell company he'd used to hide my inheritance. The judge's eyes snapped up. My lawyer opened the folder, revealing documents signed by my father, authenticated, dated, traced. The courtroom held its breath. The judge's face turned pale when he saw the company listed under his own brother's name, collusion exposed. The brilliance of it all: my father had dragged me to court to humiliate me, and in doing so, exposed every deceit. He stammered about clerical errors. It was meaningless. The judge recused himself. The case went to a higher court, one untainted by favors. Within 2 weeks, his assets were frozen. The board voted him out. The media, once singing his praises, tore him apart. He called once. I didn't answer. Now, in my grandfather's study, I stand before the mirror. Legal papers neatly folded on the desk. The estate, every inch, is mine again. I still hear his words echo in that courtroom. "This girl only knows how to waste what she doesn't deserve." He was right, about one thing. I did waste something: his illusion of control. When people ask what I said that day, what made the judge blanch and my father crumble, I smile. 2 words. 2 words that told him I was never his pawn. I was his mirror. And I had learned to play his game far better than he ever could.